Last night I caught the president of our HOA sliding a puck master key into my front door. She really thought she could walk right into my home like she owned the place. When my son stepped forward, she went pale as a ghost, shaking, stumbling back. And that was the moment I realized something far darker was happening in my neighborhood. Act 1. The conflict begins. My name's Wesley Armstrong. I'm 65, a retired IT director just trying to enjoy what little peace retirement is supposed to bring. I live in a neat manicured neighborhood called Maplewood Estates. The kind of place where the biggest drama should be someone's mailbox being the wrong shade of beige. My daughter Jane is deployed overseas with the Army, so I've been taking care of my grandson, Tyler, who's 13, smart kid, sharp eyes. My son, Jake, is a police officer, but when he visits he stays in plainclothes department policy. We're just a normal family, or at least we should have been. But normal doesn't exist when you live next to Chloe Foster. Chloe was the HOA chair. Mid-50s, always in business suits, walking around with her clipboard like she ran a Fortune 500 company. She had power, ridiculous power, because in communities like ours, one person's signature could fine you $50 just for leaving a trash can out on the wrong day. The very first time we met during her welcome to the neighborhood chat, she asked me way too many questions about my work. I told her I was retired from IT, thinking it was harmless small talk, but she leaned in, eyes sharp, and asked about my crypto portfolio. Now here's the kicker. I never told her I had cryptocurrency. Not once. My stomach tightened, but I brushed it off. Maybe she overheard something. Maybe Jake slipped up. I told myself I was being paranoid. Still, from that day, I noticed she watched me differently. The wellness checks started soon after. She'd knock on the door, smile, and say she was just making sure the house was safe. Her eyes weren't on me, though. They were scanning my living room, my office. She'd casually ask questions like, "Do you feel safe leaving Tyler home alone?" Or, "Have you upgraded your security system?" Innocent words on the surface, but the way she asked like she was taking inventory made my skin crawl. Tyler picked up on it too. Kids see what adults dismiss. He started calling her the crazy HOA lady who asked too many questions. We laughed at it, but deep down something felt wrong. Then small things started shifting in the house. My coffee mug on the wrong coaster, papers on my desk shuffled, Tyler's laptop not where he left it, little signs someone had been inside. Always on days Chloe had announced HOA contractor visits. Coincidence? No. I'd spent 40 years spotting patterns in IT. This wasn't random. Act 2. Escalation and turning point. I confided in Emma Collins, a neighbor 3 houses down. Tough single mom, military spouse. When I mentioned Chloe's strange visits, Emma's face went hard. She told me Chloe had done a wellness check at her place too. The next day, Emma's laptop disappeared. She filed a report, but without proof nothing happened. That's when I installed a Ring camera. Within a week, I caught footage of a man with keys walking straight into my property during a maintenance window. He moved like he'd rehearsed it fast, precise. Tyler sat next to me reviewing the footage, whispering, "Grandpa." He knew exactly where to go. This isn't random. The pit in my stomach grew when I opened my office safe one night. My primary hardware wallet was gone. 50 grand in crypto vanished. Nothing else touched, just the one device. I froze in place, the blood draining from my face. Only 3 people knew about that wallet, me, Jake. And somehow Chloe, who had dropped that comment about my crypto portfolio during our very first conversation. That was the night I almost gave up. I sat there staring at the empty safe, whispering to myself, maybe I'm losing it. Maybe I left it somewhere. Maybe I'm just an old man chasing shadows. The weight of it crushed me. I felt like a fool, like I couldn't protect my own family. For a moment I thought about letting it go, pretending nothing was wrong. But then I remembered Tyler's voice mocking Chloe, laughing, still innocent, and I realized if I let this slide, I wasn't just losing money. I was teaching my grandson to roll over when someone violated him, and that I could never accept. So I fought back. Emma showed me her own surveillance system, military-grade cameras. What I saw made my blood run cold, the same crew hitting house after house during HOA maintenance hours. Professional burglars, organized crime, and Chloe was feeding them everything: keys, schedules, vulnerabilities. Jake got involved too, off the record. He told me, "Dad, this isn't just local punks. This is organized theft. Other counties are seeing the same pattern." The threats came fast after that. A text message from an unknown number. "Grandfather should mind his own business. Some families need to learn when to stop asking questions." And then one afternoon, Tyler didn't come home from school. My heart stopped. I paced the living room, calling his phone every 10 minutes. Nothing. By 5:00 p.m., I was ready to tear the neighborhood apart. Then a message buzzed on my phone. "Some families need to learn when to stop." I thought I'd lost him. My chest felt like it was caving in. But at 7:15, the phone rang. Tyler's voice shaky, but alive. "Grandpa, I'm okay. I'm at the public library. I've been hiding. I found something you need to see." Relief nearly knocked me to my knees. My grandson hadn't just survived. He'd uncovered Chloe's financial records, proof she'd refinanced her house 3 times in a year, drowning in gambling debt. She wasn't just nosy, she was desperate. And desperate people make dangerous choices. Act 3, Climax and Justice. That Saturday night, the pounding on my front door shook the windows. "Wesley, open this door. We need to talk about your interference." Chloe's voice was ragged, desperate. I was ready to face her, but I wasn't ready for what happened next. Heavy footsteps approached behind me, my son Jake. And this time he wasn't in plain clothes. He was in full uniform badge, gleaming radio, crackling. I opened the door. Chloe froze. Her face drained white, her mouth fell open. She stumbled backward off the porch like she'd been struck. "Mrs. Foster," Jake said evenly. "Officer Jake Armstrong, Maplewood Police Department. I believe you wanted to discuss something." Neighbors spilled out of their homes, phones recording whispers rippling. Emma stood on her porch, arms crossed, watching the queen of the HOA crumble. Chloe stammered. I didn't know you were a police officer. This is just a neighbor dispute, community business." Jake's eyes didn't soften. "We'll be investigating the recent break-ins thoroughly. I suggest you think very carefully about what you want to share before we discover it ourselves." And then the real bomb dropped. Jake ran her prints through his database. 5 identities: Nevada, Arizona, California. Different names, different debts, different lives. The woman who fined people for lawn height wasn't just a nosy neighbor. She was a con artist, an addict, and a criminal collaborator. But the nightmare wasn't done. That Sunday night, just before midnight, I heard the soft click of a lock being picked. My cameras lit up 3 men entering with precision, carrying jammers and extraction tools. Tank Stone, the crew leader, moved like a soldier. They thought they were ghosts in the night, but we were ready. Tyler monitored from Jake's old bedroom, whispering updates into a hardwired headset. "Grandpa, they're jamming signals. Tanks heading for your office. 2 more in the basement." Jake was outside with backup units, federal agents in position. The trap was set. I confronted Tank face to face. My heart pounded so hard I thought it would rip out of my chest, but my voice stayed steady. "Why us? Why threaten my grandson? What made you think this was okay?" For a split second the mask slipped. Fear flashed in his eyes. "Old man, you don't understand. We work for people who don't accept failure. Your crypto was supposed to clear a debt. Now we're all in deeper trouble than you can imagine." And then the lights exploded. Flashlights, sirens, voices shouting commands. Jake's units swarmed the house. Tank and his crew hit the ground, handcuffed, weapons confiscated. Chloe was dragged from her porch in tears, screaming about victimless crimes, but the neighborhood watched in silence. The HOA queen, stripped of her power, humiliated under the glow of police lights. That was the moment it ended. Closing line. Never let someone's fake authority blind you to what they really are, because silence only feeds their power.